The King and Queen arrived at Parramatta Park in scorching sunshine and were welcomed by a smoking ceremony and a didgeridoo player. Charles and Camilla reunited after conducting separate engagements this morning, with the King being introduced to the Premier of NSW, Chris Minns, and his wife Anna, while the Queen was introduced to the Deputy Premier of NSW, Prudence Carr, and her husband Brad Hulls. Moving towards the smoking ceremony, their Majesties took it in turns to waft the smoke over themselves, a tradition that is meant to be good luck and clear away bad spirits. They then moved towards the guests, which included community leaders, volunteers and charity representatives, and spent time shaking hands and greeting them. Exploring the cultural exhibits, the Queen was presented with a nature crown, made from leaves, flowers and other natural materials, which she placed on her head to much applause. She turned round to the King and said, "Look what I've got." He turned and said, "Oh, it's beautiful," and noticed that it featured the herb rosemary. The couple then made their way to the barbecue, where several different varieties of sausages were sizzling over the hot coals. They spoke to surf life-saving personnel who were in charge of the barbecue, where the King and Queen were handed some tongs and flip over some snags, Australian slang for sausages. Squeezing the tongs together, Charles swiftly approached the barbecue and began turning over the sausages, while Camilla opted instead to roll the sausages with the instrument. The lifeguards then presented Charles with his own iconic red and yellow swimming cap in a glass frame, prompting the King to quip, "Break glass in an emergency." As they made their way to the NSW produce stalls, the King and Queen continued to stop and speak to the public. Camilla chatted to 11-year-olds Rowan and Lucas, the captain and vice-captain at Bayern Army Public School, who told them to enjoy some sausages. At the other side, the King accepted a bouquet of flowers from Layla, 11, who said, "I wanted to give him a special reminder that the people in Australia are inspired by him." Remembering what Charles had said to her, she giggled. He said it's a good excuse to skip school. The King also spoke to Olympian Jaden Lawrence, who competed as a wrestler in the 2024 Paris Olympics, while the Queen chatted to Paralympic swimmer Tim Hodge, won 2 gold medals in the pool this summer. Stopping to watch a sheepdog display, the King chuckled when Colt, an Australian Kelpie, appeared to struggle to herd the cattle towards the pen. The sheep made their way in the right direction before dispersing and running in the opposite direction. It took several minutes for the sheepdog to get them back into the right place, and the royal couple and the crowd burst into applause when they were successfully locked in their pen. The King remarked, "That was brilliant." Round the corner, the Sydney Thunder cricket team were waiting to give the monarch a gift, with player Chris Grant saying afterwards, "We gave him our First Nations jersey, our Indigenous playing jersey." He added, "It was pretty special to meet the King personally, and it's amazing to see the turnout today."